Hello everyone, I am Perplexality and this is ODST Halo Guide. And you're watching some Community Corner Episode 3 from zJacktheRipper. His gamer tag will put somewhere up on the screen. We didn't start at the beginning of the game just because there's only one player up to this point, but he does get like a 34 kill perfection. But up until this point there weren't any other people on the team. But if you guys want to know what Community Corner is where you guys submit your gameplay, and then basically I'm going to tell you what you did right, what you did wrong, and how to improve. Every single professional gamer I've ever talked to, or any really good players I've ever talked to, have always said that the best way to get better is kind of watch your own gameplay and figure out what you did right and wrong. So I'm going to kind of be here to analyze exactly what you're doing right and wrong for things that you might not notice. And congratulations on what you did right. And hopefully if you do some of the wrong things that this guy does wrong, then you can fix it. If you want to start doing some of the things that this guy does right, then you can go ahead and fix that too. It works quite well. So we're going to go ahead and get started. He's using the sticky det. He's actually using it quite well because you want to kind of pop in and out as you use the sticky det. It's pretty effective. And right now he's always keeping some kind of damage increase against someone, whether or not it's a power weapon or an actual damage boost. He just finished off a very clean overkill right there. You see he's just kind of walking around using the damage boost and whatever else he gets to the best of his ability. It helps get you an advantage, because if you guys remember, I've always talked about advantages, and especially my perfection guides, which this guy gets perfection. I always said one of the most important things was to keep some kind of power and firepower advantage on some people. The only time I've never done that is when I did that Magnum only perfection, which made it a lot more difficult than it really needed to be. Had I been using something like the saw or something in that game, some other power weapon, it would have been a lot easier. So just imagine how much easier it is for you using power weapons like damage boost or beam rifle, things like that. So right now, I just want to notice he's kind of adjusting his playstyle. You see, like when he had the sticky det, he was kind of popping in and out. When he had the damage boost, he was getting a bit more aggressive. Now that he's going to pick up the beam rifle, he's gonna try getting some more range on people, because that's what you want to do. You want to be aiming more across the map, stay a little bit more out of fights. You can still get kills quite easily from a very good range away. I've always said the beam rifle is a no-scoping machine, and there's a good reason to say that. He's right here just aiming across the map. He's not running straight up trying to melee anyone or anything. He does probably want to keep a little bit more range when he's using ranged weapons like that, just because if you're going for a punch, you might trade kills, and you don't really want to trade kills when you're going for perfection. You'd rather just no one get a kill than you guys trade some kills. You see, like right here, he's kind of running, being a little aggressive. It pays off for him, but these players are a little less skilled. If he was playing someone around my CSR, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have lived through that. Or if that player had a plasma grenade, you probably would have gotten stuck, and that would have been the end of the perfection. So work on being aggressive, I would say. You want to know when and when not to be aggressive. And right now he's going to pick up the shotgun, and now he's going to switch to a completely different style of playing, which is a bit more close range, a bit more focused on getting up into people's grills, which is what his armor ability is good for, which is why I wanted to kind of talk about. His armor ability is the camo. Now camo, like all armor abilities, need to be used in very specific ways. If you use it in the wrong way, you might as well not be using it at all. So if you go ahead and look, see he's camo just running around, but it doesn't actually make him invisible unless he's standing still and crouched. All you're doing is you're wasting your armor ability, which means you might as well not even have it, because you're doing very little. Like right here is a good way to use camo. You're crouching, you're not moving, you're making sure they don't know exactly where you are, and once you're close enough, you're going to use your power weapon and get that kill. That's the best way to use armor abilities, especially camo. But you see, he just uses camo. If you look earlier in the game, you can see plenty of instances of this too, where he used the camo and he kind of just ran into a place. And since he's running and moving, it doesn't really affect him. Like right here, he's running, wasted his camo. But when you're running around and moving, you're not actually invisible. So it's not actually doing anything for you to be camoed when you're doing that. You're just wasting your armor ability when you could have a full camo ability waiting for you. And really, you only want to use camo when people are going to see you. Like if people are actually moving away from you, it might just be better to stay still and crouched, and they'll leave you alone, because pretty much they don't know you're on their radar. So they'll just leave you alone and they'll just go away. If you use camo, you'll actually tell them where you are because of all the little dots that show up. Right there, good way to kind of lure and bait. He's got the untouchable already, which is 25 kills. But you see, he's using camo and running away. That's just a bad mixture. And right here, he could have get that player, but he could have crouched right here, and the guy wouldn't have known he was at the top of the lift. But since he used Invis, he notified other players that he was at the top of the lift. And had he not had a shotgun, he might have gotten stuck or worse, and that would have just ended his perfection. Also right here, not sure how I feel about him having the railgun and the shotgun. If you're good enough with the railgun, then more power to you. But if you're not very good with the railgun, then you really want to be careful about swapping it out with something else. Just because saying you miss a railgun shot and you only have a shotgun left, if the guy's at mid-range, then you have no defense mid-range. You just got to sit back and crouch and pray that the guys aren't aggressive enough to come and kill you. But he is kind of playing it off well. But that's pretty much all I want to say is just work on your camo and how aggressive you are. And maybe your power weapon choices. But you did a great job of adjusting how you play with power weapons and using them to get great advantages. So you're doing pretty well. Just make some minor changes. I think you do a lot better. But that's pretty much all the time we have. Again, thanks zJacktheRipper2 for sending in the gameplay. If you guys want to submit your own, feel free to message me on Xbox or YouTube. And just thank you guys all for watching. Comment, rate, and subscribe if you want to get more gameplay like this. And just have a nice day. I'm Perplexality. ODST, out.